Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 guitars. We have a black acoustic Ibanez. It does have a pickup in it. Young player wants it cleaned up. He put new strings on himself. I kind of looked at those. I'm going to have to give him a little bit of a tutorial. That's part of what this video is for, but he needs it cleaned up. And it's an entry-level guitar. It's got what is going to appear like inlays in the fretboard, but they're stickers. This is as I said, an entry-level guitar. I played it. I tuned it really quick when the customer gave it to me, and I played it. It's not a bad little instrument. It doesn't seem like the string action is all that bad, but as you know, we're going to check all those measurements as we get going here. So we're going to try to save the strings, but I doubt that because he snipped them off really close, and I don't deal with that heartache well. Once you take them off, they're really hard to get back in there and wind them correctly. Some of the usual suspects on this guitar: they didn't know how to pull out the tuning pegs for the string pegs in the bridge. We're going to check and make sure that that bridge is not delaminating. These cheaper entry-level guitars have a tendency to pull away there. And of course, we're going to check everything else. We want to make this instrument play as well as it can possibly play for this young player, and I'm sure that we can do that. So let's get to work. As you can see, I'm getting better at the camera lottery. Thank you for your patience in previous videos. He says these strings are relatively new. They look a little grungy already to me. I'm going to take them off. We're going to pop them out. He wants everything cleaned. I'm concerned about this inlay stuff. Really pretty. My wife looked at it. She loves it. She goes, "Oh, that's so nice." Look, on a high-end guitar, those would be inlays, but they're not. These are, I believe, once I get the strings off and get my bionic eyes on it, I believe they're just stickers on there. I'm concerned that when I start cleaning the fretboard like I do, I'm going to have to be extra careful. Now, he said he does have another set of stickers, and he likes these. He would like to keep them. I'm going to say initially my recommendation is to pull them off of there, but again, I want to get down in there and make sure of what we're dealing with. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull these strings off, knock them out of here. I'm going to save them. I don't think I'm going to be able to put them back on the guitar. They're just cut off too tight. Now, his wraps are wrong. You know what a nut I am about. Go through the string peg. The first wrap goes above it, where the string hole is, and then all successive wraps go below it. He did not do that, and some only have one winding around the tuning peg. That's why I say I don't think these strings are going to make it. But he's a young guy. He doesn't have a lot of money. That being said, I want to help him, but work is work, and we're going to do the best that we can. Let's get these off of here. Like that one, the low E had one wrap, and it was not above. There was nothing locking that string onto the tuning peg. Before I pop any of these off, I'm going to loosen everything and pull all the strings out. So I'm going to pause briefly just because I want to save a little video time, and then we'll get back to getting them out of here. And then we'll start looking at what's happening there. Okay, stand by. Excuse me. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, as I was afraid of, and there are little bits and pieces of stuff here. I don't know if the camera's picking up on that, but none of these were wrapped around there correctly, and they had some sort of weird knot tied into them, and the only way to get them out of the, unwrap them and get these tuning pegs open where I can restring it or try to save these. That's not going to happen. So, like the previous fender that I had, somebody has been trying to pull these pegs out, and the easiest way to do this is, if you don't have the right tool, is you reach in there and you pop them up. It's just that simple. And if there's wires in there, don't booger with them. And these are all reusable. They were not jammed down in there. Hardly any of them are going to be able to be saved. I'm going to give him these strings back because he might be able to use them as a spare. I doubt it, but we're going to try. At least I'm going to make the effort to give them back to him. And we'll go from there. Probably I'm going to have to zip tie these things. I don't know if I can get them through that one more time without turning into a mess. Come on, you. There. At least they'll stay. Oh yeah, these are stickers. These are just stickers laminated right onto the board. My recommendation would be to peel them off and get rid of them. Let's see, I can feel that the string rubs on the fretboard. How are these stickers supposed to stay like that forever? And by the way, the board is, well, damn. Yeah, it needs to be scrubbed and it needs to be treated badly. Wow. So yeah, and of course somebody glued the saddle down in there, which you never do. There. Oh, there's a bunch of shims in there, so if I need to lower it, I will be able to. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. We'll address that later. One thing I do want to check, bear with me. There is my little number 4 thousandths. It is so, it's about a quarter of the thickness of a piece of paper. That can't be good. I noticed that when I was looking at it when they gave it to me. Yeah, not so bad. A little bit. Okay, I need to fix that. We can't just let that go. You can see how far in that feeler gauge is going in there. That is a heartache waiting to happen over time, of course, over time. The rest of it seems to be, it's starting to delaminate here. Just the very tip of the feeler gauge is going in there. This side is not nearly as bad. And of course, this side usually isn't the one that does that, because everything is always pulling on the forward edge of that bridge. But this, damn. I can't in good conscience not fix that. So I always check that on an acoustic guitar. I don't care if it's a high-end acoustic and I've had high-end acoustics come in and have the same issue, and the player never knew it. And he would go, my G-string. Well, the G-string is, always the rotten kid in class. That as soon as the teacher turns around, they're throwing erasers. We all know that. All guitar players know it's always the G-string. But they won't stay in tune sometimes, and it'll play well down here but not up here. And the more you pull on that, if that thing is delaminating, it's changing your tuning. Your strings are stretching. So we got a little bit of an issue there. We know the strings. I'm going to put a new set of strings on it. I'm going to recommend to the customer that we yank. I'm going to try to clean this right now, and you can see the rest of the guitar is pretty dirty. It's really schmutzed up, and that's just a black guitar. Nobody took the time to ever wipe it down. Players rarely do. I'm I'm going to check all the hardware and make sure everything. I did check the electronics. It's got an onboard volume and tone. That's all solid. Worked. Plugged it in, played it, strummed it a little bit. Guitar doesn't feel bad. I just don't like all these stickers on here. I might as well put, you know, Hot Rod Blackjack on here, because to me that's, I don't like that. But he said he wanted to keep that stuff on there if he could, and I'm gonna try to scrub it and not disrupt that stuff. But I can't really go in there with linseed oil and treat this neck, because it does need it badly. The oil is probably going to get and work its way underneath those decals, and they're gonna delaminate. Next, we're going to look in here and see. That looks like a usual suspect. You never know what you're going to run into. I'm going to say that. I'm going to guess it's a 4. Yep. Okay. I sighted down this thing before when I was at the shop, and the string tension on it, and it still had a little bit of a back bow, which now it's really got a back bow, because we took all the string tension off. I'm going to try to get it straightened out. I don't know if it's going to get enough relief to straighten out or not. We might end up just putting strings back on this thing and calling it a day. Sorry about that. Let's get in the mood here a little bit better. Still in a back bow on the bass side. Looks like it's straightening out pretty good on the treble side. And heat when that happens. Ooh, I'm just a hot mess today. Hooks falling off of my pegboard, tools falling down inside the guitar. You know, I'm only human. Things happen. I'm gonna try to loosen it, and it's starting to get to where there isn't going to be much left, unless it has a two-way truss rod in it, which I'm starting to hope that it does, because that's it. It's out of. No, we did not get lucky there. There is not a two-way truss rod in this. So when I looked at it in the shop when I first got it from the customer, there was, even with string tension, there was a little slight back bow to it. So slight you could barely pick it up. But now that we took all of the string tension off of it and removed all the strings, that board decided to do a back bow on us, and I'm not surprised by that. But the only way to do that is to relieve the pressure. It's straight enough that I think once I get a good set of strings on there, I don't know what strings these are that he had on it. I'm gonna put a good set of Diodarios on there that I use for acoustic guitars. And I can feel some of the sticker coming off of there already. Yeah, just from, it's so goopy. Maybe once we get good tension on it and get everything, you know, the neck relief and the nut, and I don't know, we may be able to pull. The action seemed not so bad without measuring it at the shop where I picked it up, but they have some sort of shim system down in here. So usually with acoustics, your problem is that the action's way too high. So if those shims, there's already shims in there, I can take them out and lower the action. I think we're going to be okay. I have just the slightest tension on it now. Once I get a good set of strings on it that I know are good strings, and get it cinched up and tuned to pitch after we clean it, we should be able to set the neck relief where it belongs. I'm going to pause really quickly while I check what I have for cleaning this, and we'll go from there. Stand by. So I'm back. I made a bunch of notes and I shot them off to the customer. I'm going to try to clean up this fretboard ever so lightly, at least to get the grunge off of the fretboard. I let them know that I recommend pulling these stickers off of here. It's not doing any good to this guitar. But it's not my guitar. It's not my call. This might be a tragedy. We're going to very lightly get the goop off of this fretboard, and I hope it doesn't pull too much or any of the stickers at all, I'm hoping, because I really do want to start with a clean fretboard, and because I know, and you've seen me do this a million times, dirty. Yeah. This just, my initial instinct tells me get these stickers off here and do this the right way. Wow. You know, and those stickers, that's your business right there. That's where the string hits the fretboard, the business. I think those stickers will stay on there, but this is not what I would do. I think this would be a much better instrument, and I would feel far more confident if we could just get rid of those stickers. That's me. That's just me. I don't know nothing. I like to play guitar, I like to work on guitars, and that just doesn't seem copacetic to me. I think these stickers probably came with the guitar. I don't know. Maybe the customer put them on there. Maybe he liked that. Maybe he saw it on a higher. Look, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Maybe he saw it on another guitar, and this was something that the internet said. Oh, instead of having inlays, you can put these stickers on here, and it looks just like inlays. Well, it's not, because inlays are level. My finger actually hits the sticker as it's rubbing across there, and eventually the strings. This is the business end of the guitar right here. The strings are going to hit that, and they're going to rub on that. Unless you only ever play on these two frets up here, which I don't think is likely. All right. Well, it's clean. At least we can say that it's clean. And like I said, while I'm waiting for them to get back to me, I figured the least I could do is clean the fretboard a little bit. Now, my usual gig is to, now get the linseed oil out and treat the wood, because the wood is now, I can feel it. It's begging for some oil to be put on it. And my fear is, more than what I just did, is when I put linseed oil on there, that stuff's gonna really start to delaminate. So that's it for today. I think we're just gonna wait. I'll clean all this up. I don't need to bore you with that. I'm just gonna spray it with my favorite product, and clean up the body of the guitar and the back of the neck and the headstock. Of course, I'm gonna take a screwdriver and a 10mm and just make sure that everything is snug, loose. Wow. Alright, so everything there was loose. It's such a mystery. And there's one screw there. I'll bet those are probably loose too. Oh yeah, very loose. Stripped. Stripped. Snug. Snug. Those two are stripped. I would probably pull them out, maybe put, if I can find just a slightly oversized screw for it, that's what I would do with that. You can see this girl wants to clean up. I think the paint job is the best part of the guitar. Very few scratches on it, very little wear on the fretboard, on the frets. Some up here, you know, the guy's a strummer, so he's cording up here in the business end. That's where all the money's made, right there. Okay, I'm going to clean it up. I'm waiting for the customer to get back to me. We'll see. I'm really cutting him a big break on this guitar. I know I can put it together and make it play nice, and I know I can make it play better than it was when it was given to me. Excuse me, which is what I'm after. Good friends, good customers. In fact, this came from the same people that had the G&L L2000 Series E that I've been posting videos on YouTube, and thank you for all your support, and don't forget to click on subscribe and like. I really appreciate it. It helps me. This is what I do for a living. I love to work on guitars. I want every player to have their instrument play as well as it can. I am cutting them a little bit of a break on this because this is a young man that he's a good player. He knows what he's doing. I'm going to make this instrument play as well as it can, and he's going to be ready for a new instrument at some point in the future, and I hope I can guide him through that. Or his family. His family's very musical. I may be cut out of the loop on that. Every member of the family's musical, so they'll probably all get together and have a powwow and get him a good instrument. This is not a bad instrument, but there are better ones. This one's going to play like $1 million when I'm done with it. I just don't like these stickers. Have I said that? Have I said that I don't like the stickers? Thanks for playing along, guys. We're going to do a second installment on this guitar. You know me, I like to do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 video series. Like, subscribe. Guys, have a good one. We'll talk soon.